For our fans, I guess when we're talking about how we want to play, hopefully they got a good feel for that in the second half of last year. And that aggressive, fearless, brave style of cricket that we played in the second half of the competition with bat and ball is certainly the way we want to play moving forward.
Big Basket Now presents RCB Bold Diaries.
Once all the retentions are in on the deadline, obviously people will be eagerly waiting to hear some of the announcements to find out which teams have retained which players and who's then going to be available at the auction. Obviously, with the right to match rule, there's still some uncertainty here. There might be players that we like the look of or other teams like the look of, but with the right to match capability at the auction, there is no guarantee that you get all of these players. But I guess the first task will be to make sense of teams' retentions and what that means for availability. Auctions are typically about supply and demand, and until this point you're kind of guessing and predicting supply and demand. Once we get past this deadline for retentions, we can look at that with a little bit more certainty and clarity. So that means you can start doing some more precise planning. So for us as a core leadership group, we'll start to make sense of that supply and demand. We'll start looking at those options out there. Andy and I have spent quite a lot of time thinking about how we want to play. So that's kind of our central thread that underpins our retention and auction decision making, and that will hopefully come to life when we get into next season. So our attention will move to looking at which players we think can fulfill a role for RCB to try and bring that to life.
बस यही बोलना है, यही तुम्हारा ऐड?
Yeah, that's it.
सही है यार. Now delivering in 10 minutes.
Well, the type of cricket that we want to play will drive the recruitment process, actually, because we will have specific roles which we want to fill, and those roles will have carry particular skills that are important to excelling at T20 cricket of an international standard, which is what the IPL is. If you cast your minds back to the second half of last season, you will have seen a very attacking brand of cricket, very aggressive bowling up front, with bowlers obviously wanting and hunting wickets.
And as you get closer to the auction, you start thinking a little bit more there around some of the auction dynamics that play out. You know, knowing the set orders and where some of the players might come up has a big impact on how you plan and what sort of strategy that you have. Setting sort of some cost parameters to what you might want to spend on different roles and different players is a really exciting part of it as well. And then you're trying to prepare yourself for as many eventualities as possible. There's no absolute certainty that you can take into an auction, but you have probably a plan A, a plan B, a plan C and a plan D, and you want to try and make sure that you're capable of reacting in the moment, being flexible and making the decisions that you want that bring it to life. We're obviously hugely interested in what our fans think, and no doubt they'll be vocal over the next few weeks. We hope they understand our retention decisions, because obviously, you know, we have the responsibility to make those decisions, and we understand that not everybody will be aligned with everything we think, but hopefully they can appreciate where we're coming from and what we're trying to do and our reasoning and rationale. So hopefully the fans can understand that and trust that as we move towards the auction, we'll be leaving no stone unturned to try and make sure that we assemble the sort of squad and team that can make them proud. And of course, Andy and I are very committed to trying to deliver that elusive trophy to RCB and the fans, something that we obviously are very motivated to try and do.
Well, we know that the RCB fans are particularly special, and the way they supported us at the start of last season, I think, is the best example of that unity and loyalty. We struggled at the start of last season, no doubt, and they stuck with us. They were as vibrant and as loyal as we could have asked. So we look for much the same. We want a stronger start because we want to be pushing towards the top of that league as soon as possible. And we want them to be entertained by the type of cricket that we play. And if we play the right type of cricket with the right attitude and the sort of skills that we believe that we can acquire in the auction, I think the RCB fans have got a lot to look forward to.
Big Basket Now presents RCB Bold Diaries.